Hello everyone, this is my elevator parts collection, part 5. As you can see, I went back to JCPenney and I got a phone. This phone is from the passenger elevator. It's made by EMS, which is a division of Janus. This was the braille that was right here. But I took it off because this is how it originally was supposed to be. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for. Both COPs. I got them both. So, let's check them out. First and most importantly, we have our almighty Dover logo right here. We have our up button, the down button, and if you shine a flashlight, you can see where the arrow used to be. That says emergency return. This is for fire service. This is fire service. Unfortunately, I only have the H2395 key, so it will not turn in this. The button for the blank floor that could have been added on at some time, but never was. Call cancel. 2. 1, basement, which is really messed up. Door open, alarm, and now I can do this without getting in any trouble. It's the exact same thing on this, except instead of B, it says LL. And that's actually written with a Sharpie if you look really closely. So, let's try out some of the key switches. We have our fan, / light key switch. Hang on. So, let's turn it on. Now that fan's annoying, so we're going to keep that off. Now, we have, of course, our independent service slot. Photo eye, which is for the sensor. This would turn it off and leave only the bumpers, because Dover is that awesome. And now we have attendance service. Now this runs a little bit differently than independent service, and I'm only assuming this. I opened the panel, and I found this buzzer in it. It's made by Edwards. There was another one for fire service. We're going to see if we can hook it up and put it in a later video. And I think this would buzz and light up the floor that somebody was waiting on, so you'd have to bring the elevator there or something like that. Now, the most interesting thing about this panel, and I would have never guessed this myself, is it's a swing front. Take a look at that. Swing front from the 1980s. And the best thing inside this panel is, if you've ever ridden that elevator, I'm sure you remember that bell. It only rings when it wants to. Now, an interesting thing is, this fire service key here is actually unique. As you can see, when the switch turns, it flips a toggle. Now, since I don't have the key, I can't show you that. But what I can show you is how these work. We're going to use attendance service for the demonstration. As you can see, when I turn the lock, see if I get it in the shot. If I turn the lock, that cylinder turns. And then it would change the wires. There used to be wires going through there. I took them out because they didn't go to anything. And it would do its thing. Now, another thing you can see is Dover has it wired, so this is run just like the classic buttons. When you pull the stop switch, it breaks that circuit, but it also completes this one, which goes to the alarm. It bypasses it, and it rings the alarm, which I find very interesting at how they did that. Now, one of the better things I got, let me go get it, was this here. I put this together myself because it was just hanging in here because there's no back. This is the bell from the employee elevator. It's supposed to be a floor passing chime, but I can make it do this. Hope my camera didn't distort that. It usually sounds like this. Wait. Like that. Alright, so we're going to close this up. Okay. I also demodernized these panels somewhat. What I mean is, this braille was added here later on, and this braille, put it on the right side, was added here later on. So, I took the liberty of taking them off. So that way the panel is in its originality. So I consider that demodernizing it. Now, what really baffles me is how the stop switch got worn down, because nobody's supposed to pull it. By the way, it's actually pretty hard to pull. Ooh, See, this is from the passenger and this is from the employee. You can see which one obviously got a lot more use because in the 1980s, we believe these panels were added when the elevators were placed on two different controllers. Honestly, I don't see why they needed to be added. The old panels worked fine. So, in case you didn't see my video, my older video, I'm going to demonstrate how a button presses, a classic button. As you can see here, there's a contact. Now, when I press the button, it makes the connection. See, you barely have to press it, and that's what makes them seem like they're touch sensitive. I have yet to get a black classic button. I very well might be getting one because they haven't taken it off the elevator yet, and I let the person know who gets me these parts that I have my eye on those and I really want one. So I'm pretty sure he's going to set one aside for me. So, we already have our down lantern and our button in a different video. Dover key. So, I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. And if you have any requests for anything you want me to do with these panels, considering they're not on the elevator anymore, please feel free to let me know. That's it.